Hello everyone, I wanted to introduce you guys to the brand new scripter that we've built inside of Zoho CRM. So for those of you who are using Zoho but you want to find an easier way of getting through the cold calls and just remembering what to say, or getting through the sales calls and kind of being able to have quick access to objections and quick access to documents and things like that, this scripter is for you guys. So it opens out with the cold call, okay? And typically on a cold call, you are making a lot of calls, leaving a lot of voice messages. And so we have a basic voice message script right here for you. The goal isn't to really just read this verbatim every time, but rather to get familiar with it so that you know what to say on the calls so that you can just be more effective. Now, if you're making a call and somebody does answer the phone, we have the introduction and the elevator pitch right here. This basically helps you just kind of communicate with the prospect or the gatekeeper if you haven't made it that far, the reason for your call, and just a little bit of quick information to help them understand why they need to take the call. So that's what the elevator pitch is, just one simple statement that says what it is that we do. And then of course the close. So the goal of a lot of cold calling is really to get that person onto the calendar so that they can speak to you at a time where the prospect is just more relaxed. They've got about 15 minutes to talk. You're not going to be rushed off of the phone. So appointments are very, very important for your sales process. And so the close tab here kind of helps you structure that part of the conversation so that you can actually get them onto the calendar. Now, the features are for people who maybe they're asking a few more questions. They need a little bit more information. So there's an abundance of information that you can use here. The goal is not to read off, all of this as though you were reading a book, but just to pick out key points that are appropriate for the actual call that you're on, for the prospect that you're dealing with, and for the situation that you're in. So it's a very good idea to just read all of these and just get familiar with these in general, so that you can rattle them off very quickly without having to, always have to read this one at a time. And then finally, objections. So if you have someone who's saying things like, I'm busy right now, what's this in regards to? Send me some information, I'm not interested. You have all of these easily accessible objections that just open and close. You can read the answer very quickly and get back to the call. So that's how this is structured. Now you see on the right hand side here, we also have a few quick tips. These are extra benefits just so that you can very easily recite them to your prospect whenever you are on a call, whether that is a cold call or a sales call, right? So these are just little quick tips that clients or prospects really like and can really help them in their decision making. And then also we have very quick links over to the SEO page on our website. So you have quick access to the documents and the actual sales page. Now, let's say that you are actually on a sales call, not a cold call. So this the sales call portion of this page opens out with the discovery call. And the whole purpose of this script right here is really to just kind of help the prospect understand their business in a way that they know exactly how much they are currently making and how much they should potentially be making after they utilize our service. So that's the point of the discovery call. Now, after you've gotten through that portion of the call, next is the process, where we just kind of explain in 3 steps, hey, so after we've talked about, the fact that you do need the service, this is how we're actually going to deliver the service. So in 3 simple steps, 1, 2, 3, boom. Now you're able to help that person understand very quickly what we're going to be able to do for them. And then we're asking, does this make sense? Do you understand? Etc. Finally, once we've explained the process, we explain how much that process costs. And the price is always going to be different depending on who you're talking to. So if you're talking to a small business, maybe they're on the lower end of the scale where maybe their price point is about $2,500. But if you're talking to a larger business, maybe you're at the highest end of the scale. So maybe it's $5,000 per month or more. So the pricing is just really where you're going to be entering that based on the direction of the call. but just helping them understand that price relative to the numbers that you discussed during the discovery call here. Finally, closing. So you can use any one of these closing statements, whatever you're comfortable with, whatever is appropriate for the situation, but closing is important because obviously that's kind of the point, right? So you want to make sure that you get a new client. So that's where all these statements come in. And then finally you have objections. So just like in the top portion, the cold call scripts, you also have your objections here, where any common things that they might be able to say, anything that they might be giving you as far as why they shouldn't start the service, those things are here. And if you run into anything that is not listed right here, definitely let us know, and we'll always add to this list so that it becomes more and more helpful over time. There's also a quick access button right here, so submit a sale. Let's say that you talk to someone, you close, and they're like, yeah, let's go ahead and get started. So we can easily click on that button right there, the big green button, start or submit a sale, and that takes you right over to this page where you can process that credit card info immediately, and then that information will go over to our sales coordinator, who will finish out the process, verify the sale, get all the paperwork and legal stuff done. So very quick access for you. Now going back over to the scripter, let's say that you need a little bit more resources. So an SEO audit. This is where you're just basically generating audits in a very quick way so that you can start those conversations with prospects. So if a prospect, maybe their website needs a little bit of help, you can at least use this as a conversation starter, saying, hey, I actually submitted or sent you an audit. Did you have a chance to look at that? However it is that you want to structure that conversation, at least you've sent them something and there is something that you can talk about. If you don't know how to use this form right here, there is a little button where all of the instructions are broken down on what should go in each of those different fields. Okay? So that's a little bit of helpful information there for how to use this audit form. And then finally, we have the SEO documents. Okay? So this button will take you over to the sales page. It's the same as this one here, and this one takes you over to the documents, same as this button here. So if we went over to the sales page, this is something that everyone by now should have already read, but just kind of explaining our service. This is what the prospects typically see on their own. So it's a page that you should be familiar with as well. And if we go back and go over to the documents page here, now if a person had on the sales page submitted some information, it would have brought them here. But this page is a really good resource for you as well, because it's got everything that you need in one place. So the proposal, this is the same button to start the sale. Okay, you have your pricing sheet, your service agreement, and this is so that you can actually read the service agreement. This is for e-signing, so you can easily send someone the link to e-sign. Now that's not typically something you guys would have to deal with. That is the sales coordinator's job, but the button is still here, just so that you can see everything and see how everything works. And that's it. And then of course you've got your links to the proposal and pricing sheets individually. Now they are right here, so you've got the proposal and you've got the pricing sheet, but the same buttons are again right here. So we can open up the proposal. Let's say that you wanted some quick access to the pricing, you wanted to see what was in each tier. All of that is laid out right here. Alright? And so that is the scripter. It's a very handy tool, very easy way to kind of structure your calls, be consistent on your calls, and get better results a little bit faster for you. If you guys have any questions, definitely feel free to ask. And if you see anything that needs improvement, let us know and we'll get everything fixed for you.